everybody, Faye here, and the weather's not so great today, so I am sitting in my caravan in my garden, and I thought I would just chat to you in this video about sacred space. Okay, so sacred space, so most of you know, for me, my sacred space is my garden, and there are many different nooks and crannies in my garden where I've got a log place there, or a seat, or even sometimes a cushion, or somewhere I just lean against a tree as a sacred space that I can come and pause, rest, relax, tune in, meditate, whatever I want to do. So I'd like to hear from you about where your sacred spaces are and what they mean to you, how often you create sacred space for yourself. You know, for me, it's really important to have sacred space, to be able to create sacred space wherever you are, wherever you go. I used to travel a lot, and I still do sometimes with work, and so even carrying some elements with me that help me create sacred space is one of the practices that I do. But here, like I said, in my garden, there are several different places I like to go depending on how I'm feeling, depending on what I want to do. So today I'm in my caravan, and that is in the vegetable garden. So I'll switch it around so you can see what I'm doing. Here in the caravan. It's sacred to me because it's here where I will run one-to-one sessions or workshops with people. And it's here, I can come here when it's raining, I can come here when it's cold because there's a wood burner. So it's just a space to come that is out of the ordinary reality of my ordinary life. There's no computers here. I wrote Plant Spirit Reiki in this caravan. So there's lots of stuff has happened here. So sacred space really is about what it means to you, and the more time we spend in a space, the more we can create that sacred space, the more time we sort of dedicate to creating sacred space or meditation, ritual, however much energy we put into a space, we can create that sacred space for ourselves. So some people, and also myself, there's often lovely places in nature that I like to visit, you know, around Edinburgh, or even special churches and places of worship where people have gathered for, you know, centuries, years. You know, I love to go to the Isle of Iona because that is just so beautiful and magical. You know, that's an example of sort of traveling somewhere to create sacred space. But yeah, I'd like to hear from you, and I can see Maria has posted a comment, and I'm just trying to work out, I don't know why, but I'm on my phone and I can't actually see that comment, which is really annoying. So I'll have to tune in with that later. So apologies, Maria, because I can see that you have commented. So I'm going to turn it around and you can see where I am in this space. So this is my caravan. So I'm looking out onto my garden, the vegetable garden, one of the greenhouses there, and the raised beds and an apple tree. And in this corner, or this side bit here, so for me in sacred space, I always have an altar. So if you're traveling, this can be something simple as just having a candle or a crystal. You can see here, this usually just stays here and changes with the seasons. So here I've got a candle, I've got some crystals, I've got a bell, I've got my rattle. There's actually, I think that looks like Palo Santo, that's from last time I was here, creating the space to clear the energies. And here is my basket of, it looks to me like a basket of stones or elements of nature that I've picked up over the season. So it doesn't take a lot to create sacred space. It's important because it's important really to have that time to pause, to reflect, to meditate, to dance, to sing, to journal, to mull over problems, to seek counsel, to ask for guidance, all those sorts of things. Like I said, I come here to just get out of the house, as a place of refuge to come. And places become sacred because of the energy and the intentions that we put into them. So I always like to have an altar. I like to have a focal point. I like to have a candle to bring in the light. You don't have to have any elements at all, but you can just have things which are sacred and special to you. because that's what a sacred space is all about. It might be a favourite armchair that you have in front of the TV with a favourite blanket and a mug of tea. You know, that is sacred space. But I would love to hear from you about where your sacred spaces are and what you do to create sacred space. I was thinking maybe tomorrow I'll come and I'll do a video about the elements that you want to include in sacred space, to include the elements and other ideas for sacred space. And I'll share with you a space clearing prayer as well. So tune in for that. But in the meantime, just let me know where your sacred spaces are. And if you don't have a sacred space, if there isn't a place in nature that you know, or if there's nowhere, if you know, some people have a whole room in their house that they've dedicated to yoga or meditation. Most people just have a little corner, like I said, a special seat, a special chair, a special blanket that is my, you know, my Reiki cushion, or my meditation space, or my yoga mat, for example, becomes a sacred space during practice. So think about the elements that you like to include in your sacred space. Maybe it's music, maybe it's candles, maybe it's smudging, maybe, you know, burning herbs or incense or essential oils to create sacred space. I talk a lot about inviting in the spirit of plants. And here you've seen in my caravan, those windows on all these sides, I can see my vegetable garden here. So and I'm surrounded by holly trees, which is incredibly protective. And I can see rose bushes, cherry trees, apple trees, raspberries, poppies, foxgloves. I can see the plants here, and I can invite them in. And sometimes it really feels like they want to come into this space too. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today, just thinking about what your sacred spaces are. Maybe they are not in your home, maybe you have a place, maybe you have a place in nature that you like to go to that is your sacred space, your thinking place, a place that you like to tune in for guidance. Maybe there's sacred places that you go to on holiday or at your parents' house, places that you can remember growing up that felt really important to you, that felt special, that felt, you know, they're places where we feel held, they're places where we feel safe. So let me know, I'd love to hear from you, and I will come on again this week to talk about elements of sacred space and what we can do to create it. Okay, take care everybody, bye.